from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
I spent plenty of time this offseason listening to people debate about whether Derek Carr is actually a top 10 quarterback in the NFL or whether he's more a middle-of-the-pack guy. If he's a top 10 quarterback in the league, then you're thinking playoffs for your team.
On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Carr gives to Marshawn. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. The former #1 overall pick leads them out there. Jared Goff in his 3rd season now as the quarterback of the Rams.
It always comes down to the talent of a player first, but never underestimate what good coaching can do for you as well. How about Jared Goff, 0-7 as a rookie to 11-4 in an NFC West title in his 2nd season? The arrival of Sean McVay and his staff, they really jumped up his game. 28 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions in 2017.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
On first down, it's Gurley. Oh, good move. And now running right through it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Gurley. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. From the 50, it's gone. They got a man. It's Woods. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Tahir Whitehead. Coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Whitehead, the Temple product, in a new uniform this season.
Yeah, moving over from Detroit now to the Oakland Raiders, and what they're going to love about him, his consistency. He shows up each and every week, understands the defense fully, and roams and makes a lot of tackles.
The Rams were the highest scoring team in the league last year, and they're on the move early with a 1st and 10. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys at the cornerback position.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And here we get a look at Stewart down on the ground still. Hope this isn't anything serious. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Here we go. It's Gurley. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
4th and inches, does he get the first? You bet he does. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and he's going to fight his way forward to get a couple of yards and ensure he keeps the chains moving.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. First and goal, Jonathan Stewart. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And that play was vintage Derek Johnson. Made a play in the backfield. In college, he did as an outside linebacker. Used speed to get to the backfield. Now, a bulked-up inside linebacker with multiple Pro Bowls on his resume.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
4 yards, that gets them close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
They're going to run. This is Stewart. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near. The marker. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They start the drive with Lynch, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score, and we're back to Oakland after this.
The NFL on Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The tackle there by Mark Barron.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
This is taken around the 12. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And the Rams getting set to go now. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Yeah, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Robert Woods. Touchdown, L.A. Robert Woods, 77 yards. And the Rams strike quickly here for 6 points. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Zerline out now to kick this one away. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
getting set to go again here. Robert Woods marches back onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On the toss, it's Gurley. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Throwing on 3rd. Long. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Take Carradine. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board. Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through.
Here's Gurley now. Toss right. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extras...
Look at this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Looking for Woods that time.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he'll work this one out to about the 38. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And complete right side to Cook. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And time to remind you that coming up at halftime, we're off to see the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a wild opening weekend in the NFL.
It's good to have Coach along for the ride this year.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jordy Nelson, his first ever touchdown in silver and black. And the Raiders have drawn even here, and they can take the lead with the extra point to come. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Nugent hits the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he's got the hook up to Brandon LaFell. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Carr now. Only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Carr. And this is Cook with a grab. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Raider one. Get down. 185.
Again, it's Carr. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
On 3rd down, Carr. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win, and the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake, and it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. This didn't work.
Not at all. And the communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person. No one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close, and close quickly.
Now a first down throw. Gone. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hodges. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, here's Goff. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And now here come the Raiders. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I think I might have a little bit off.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Get down, get down.
From the gun, it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, Monday, down. 180. Push it hot.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, where you see the final score there. The Saints with a strong performance as they get the win at home in the opener. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were winners in their ball game as they beat the visiting Washington Redskins. The Cardinals able to start the season off on the right foot as they get the win at home in their season opener. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. The Packers with an ideal start as they move to 1-0 in front of their home faithful. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all
Still
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Another carry now for Gurley. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. And they're going to speed things up here. Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency breaker.
Now Stewart on first down. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, they run with Stewart. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. The handoff comes to Stewart. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff. This is Stewart. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And a short gain here down to the 22. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They go ahead and snap it. Gone. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Rams are in for 6. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
Now Goff will lead the Rams up to go for 2. They'll let Stewart try and run. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they would...
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Matt Longacre in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Get down.
On second down, Lynch. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Get set, get set. Down. 180.
Shotgun now for Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 6 yards on the pickup. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Taking it about the 36. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Goff hitting Woods for a Rams first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Over the middle, complete. That's Woods. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Second and 10, Goff again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
John Gruden's return to the sideline, not going as planned thus far, but his Raiders do have it 1st and 10. First down, the run with Lynch. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. Carr to throw on 2nd down. Completes it right side to Cooper. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Get down!
On 1st down, Carr. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to. You and your brothers just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that. Yeah, there was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He finds Roberts, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Monday, down. Wide 85.
Now Carr again. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Handoff comes to Lynch. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism.
And this is caught by Cooper for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper from 6 yards away. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field, and it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. Space to maneuver at the 40, and he takes it all the way up to the 47. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Goff on 3rd down, and that is incomplete. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, there in coverage.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Out of the gun, gone. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game 4th quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. On the stop was Aaron Donald. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Call it a pickup of 7. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again here, Robert Woods marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Again, they run with Gurley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. On 1st and 10, gone. They'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Now they'll toss to Gurley left. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Now whistles and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. Gurley again here on 1st down. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Now a handoff for Gurley. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying.
And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime? That ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. Zerline out now to kick this one away. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. And now the spike comes with 15 seconds on the clock. And that one is incomplete. It stops the clock now with 15 seconds remaining. The Raiders on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be third and forever.
Get down. 185.
He's back to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on fourth down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by John Johnson. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position. Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for L.A., it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they'll head back home next.